Around the country, October is a time to harvest, and at the National Farm to School Network, that means getting that harvest onto lunch trays. It's all part of the National Farm to School Month, and Sarah Mock has more from Washington.
School districts across the country are finding unique ways to celebrate National Farm to School Month.
Some states are doing like a one-day apple crunch where everybody at the same time is biting into an apple. The thought is it'll resonate throughout the whole state. Some states are doing some farm tours. They're getting their local legislators and decision makers on to different school districts to learn about the farmers that are providing the local fruits and vegetables.
But programs represented by the National Farm to School Network go beyond putting local produce in school cafeterias.
Farm to schools are basically three core elements. It's local procurement, so getting those local fruits and vegetables and meats and fish as well into the local schools. It's also agricultural education, so teaching kids where their food comes from, and it's also school gardens.
And national support for farm to school programs is growing. The recently introduced Farm to School Act, championed by Senators Leahy and Cochran, will increase funding and provide additional resources for early childhood centers and Native communities. Similar state-level programs are already underway.
States like Oregon just passed their farm-to-school legislation that supplies about $4.5 million to offset those costs for local foods. Now, why do they do that? Once you have the ability of scale, that price comes down.
But the Secretary of Agriculture wants more flexibility for schools that struggle to secure affordable ingredients that children want to eat. But Merrill agrees with the USDA's Ann Hazlitt that farm-to-school programs are about rural community development, not just school nutrition.
It puts pressure on those folks that we know are providing, nutritious meals to our students, but, we all need to work forward to, do more to make sure they have the amount of vendors are out there and make sure we support those local farm programs that can help them develop those local economies.
Research done here at the USDA says that American schools purchase nearly $790 million in local food from farmers, ranchers, and fishermen, as well as food processors and manufacturers in a single year, which they predict will drive more than $1 billion in local economic activity every year. I'm Sarah Mock in Washington for RFD-TV News.
Thank you, Sarah. Now, according to the USDA, 42% of American school districts participate in farm-to-school activities, representing more than 5,000 districts and over 42,000 individual schools.